Hello, everyone. Happy fourth Sunday of Advent. Today, yes, and it was Christmas Eve, but it's also the fourth Sunday of Advent. All right, so we can't get to Christmas before Advent reaches completion. Okay, so for those of us who are Catholic, we must go to Mass for the fourth Sunday of Advent and also Mass for Christmas. So if you haven't already, please go to Mass for Sunday Mass, which is the usual Sunday Mass. Or you could have gone to Saturday night or Sunday morning, and then again for Christmas, either Christmas Eve Mass or Christmas Day Mass, Christmas midnight Mass. Okay, that's just what we need to do, right? That is, and we should want to do it. If we think about the tremendous gift that God has given to us, His Son, and our talents and our family and friends and all those things, what should keep us from going to Mass, right? So anyway, so just a public service announcement that we must go to Mass for both the fourth Sunday of Advent and also for Christmas. Okay, all right. So if you went to Mass already, you would have heard again for the time in the Gospel is the Annunciation, the passage in which the angel Gabriel goes to Mary and says, Mary, you will bear a child in you and name him Jesus, and he is the Son of God. And Mary says, let it be done to me according to your word, right? And so, this is the passage that we have read many times in Advent. And it is a beautiful passage because it shows us a few things. It shows us that Mary was like you and me, right? There was some trepidation. That's what the angel says. Do not be afraid, Mary, right? And then we hear Mary's yes, right? You bear the Son of God, and then she says, "Let it be done to me according to your word." And we call that Mary's fiat. Let it be done to me. It comes from the Latin. And the line that only these past couple of years that I really took to heart and prayed more and more with is the last line of the Annunciation found in Luke's Gospel. That then the angel departed from her. Right? That after the angels told her everything that was going to happen, that she will bear a son who is the Son of God, and that her cousin Elizabeth, who was barren, will now bear a son too. And after Mary says, "Yes, I will do it. Let it be done to me," and then the angel departs from her. And I've never really thought about this line until these past couple of years because I'm just thinking about Mary at that time was a very young girl, really, and she was called pregnant. And at the time she wasn't really she wasn't married yet. She was betrothed, engaged to Joseph, but they weren't married yet. And as far as Joseph knows, that's not his baby. And so Mary could have been stoned. Mary could have been killed. But the angel says, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God." And then we see that the angel departs from her. And so for us, maybe if we read it superficially, so he says don't be afraid, I am with you, but then the angel departs from her. Well, how does that work, right? But we need to take a step deeper. Although the angel departed from her, God did not depart from her, right? In fact, God is in Mary's womb. That Mary herself, she herself is carrying the Son of God. She has the presence of God in a tangible way. And so God has not left her, right? And so the angel repeats, right? Do not be afraid, Mary. Do not be afraid, Mary. And Mary is probably thinking all these things, so what's going to happen? But the angel says, do not be afraid. And as a result, Mary said, "Yes, let it be done to me according to your word." So, brothers and sisters, what does that have to do with any of us, right? That happened 2,000 years ago. You know, it doesn't really apply to us, but it actually does. It teaches us how we ought to live out our call, right? God has a mission for each one of us. Each of us individually, we have our unique calling. God didn't say it was going to be easy. God didn't say it was going to be smooth sailing. But God did promise that if you trust Him, if you believe if you believe what the angel said to Mary, He says to you today that do not be afraid, then we will have the courage to be like Mary and says, let it be done to me, right? So Mary is giving us an example of how to live out our call. We may not know how our life is planned out every step of the way. We do not know. And God does not show us everything at once, but He shows us just enough. He shows us what we can handle. And by faith, we take the next step. And then God shows us more. And with faith, we take the next step. And then God shows us more. And that is what Mary did. She said, well, what about Joseph? What's he going to think of me? What about the people? They're going to stone me. She didn't think about any of that. She knew. She had faith that God will be with her. That if God brought her to this moment, God will see her through. God will bring her through it. And He did. And here we are today, brothers and sisters. Because of Mary's yes, because of Mary's trust in God, we are here today. So brothers and sisters, what is it that God is asking of you? Maybe you think it's too difficult. Maybe you think it's too challenging. But if God has really called you for it, don't be afraid to say yes. Because when you say yes, you're not going on this journey alone. God's with you. God leads you. God guides you. God walks on this path with you. So brothers and sisters, on this fourth Sunday of Advent, as we prepare our hearts for Christmas, may we, like Mary, say yes. Say yes to God's call for us. And believe that He is with us through it all. God bless you. And happy Advent and Merry Christmas in a couple of hours. But until then, take care and God bless you.